The next thing we're going to do is we're going to give you some dilemmas where you have to be the management and solve these dilemmas. And to help us with that, we have a gentleman, a good friend and an inspiration, Sebastian Wettemark, that they have a very interesting company. It's called Wildfire. And supposedly, actually, he was listening to me holding a speech in my own living room at the Sime party 10 years ago. And I said, it's going to spread like wildfire. And he said, good name. So that was Wildfire, the company's name. I'm glad I didn't say something else, because Wildfire is such a cool name. And what they do, they combine very good skills in understanding how surveys and statistics and things work, with psychology, with relationship experts, and with management consultants. And then they take us through how we make decisions and can teach us a lot about that. So without further ado, Sebastian Wettemark from Wildfire.
Klicken. Good morning. How are you feeling? Great, fantastic. Isn't it interesting that we sometimes use the same words, but mean totally different things? Take respect or democracy, for example. It means so different things for a lot of people. We're going to come back to that in a little moment, but I'm very happy to be here. As Ola said, it was 10 years that I attended my first time, and I just love the topics, the speakers, but mostly the energy. It's such a vibrant place. Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm the CEO and founder of Wildfire, and we call ourselves witch doctors. We work with the company culture, and we have one mission. We hate corporate core values. You know, I mean, seriously, come on. Passion, customer focus, quality, they are all the same. I know you don't hang out on Tinder. Perhaps you hang out on other dating sites. We talked about this yesterday. But it's like reading a goddamn dating ad. Hi, I'm fun, creative, I like to meet new people. It doesn't say anything different. And culture is built up by rituals, by artifacts, by a higher purpose, by something more, something different. It's not the words, because they are so different. And one tool that we really like to use, a fantastic tool, to really get into the skin, to the thinking patterns, is dilemmas. And we're going to try that in a little moment. Just to give you an example, using the same dating metaphor, I don't know if you encountered this anytime, but imagine being in a cinema, in a place like this, but watching a movie with your loved one, and a couple of rows behind you, there's some douche guys sitting, throwing popcorns at you. Have you seen this? I was encountering this one time, and what would you do? Would you find a new seat? Would you try to ignore it? Would you throw some popcorns back at them, or tell them to shut the fuck up? Sometimes it's different how your spouse or date wants to treat the situation and how you want to treat the situation. And respect can mean totally different things in these situations. And we have brought some digital dilemmas, because digital means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So we're going to discuss that. And we'll start with your thoughts about the future of Stockholm. Is it positive or not? Let's see.
Wow, this year's Sime was truly a peak moment. What a mecca for bright people. Somehow, you're not surprised. Stockholm has become an interesting place for digital entrepreneurs. You even heard some say it's getting so hyped that it competes with the Valley. Speaking of which, 2 digital pundits just broke their writer virginity and wrote a book called A Silicon Valhalla. Damn it, why didn't I think of that? Such a great name. So, what is the prophecy for Stockholm as a digital hub? Sometimes you wonder if it might be a fluke. 5 lucky unicorns and everyone gets bananas. No employee options and programmers on paternity leave. Not at all as intense as Tel Aviv. What are your thoughts for the future of Stockholm?
So, what are your thoughts for the future of Stockholm? A, I think Stockholm will be one of the 3 top global hubs for digital development, I'm certain. B, Stockholm has a lot to offer, but in the years to come, it won't be in the top 5 digital hubs because the competition is fierce. C, this is just a hyperbole for self-loving Swedes. Most people can't tell the difference between Switzerland and Sweden. Or D, it depends on the housing situation. Bring out your phones, go to menti.com and click in the code 997439. Before you vote, grab a colleague and discuss for 2 minutes, or the person sitting next to you, what you think in this situation. And you will find the answering options at menti.com. So when you're ready with your phone, you can start talking with your neighbor. Okay, dear audience, may I have your vote? Interesting. It looks like alternative A and B are ahead. A. For people voting A, we have the Sime effect, the positive outlook. And B here, it's the boring answer, somewhere in the middle. I thought you were entrepreneurs with wild dreams and that made them great, believing the impossible and making it happen. Alternative C, this is the typical Swede, the Jante alternative. And we don't have a lot of that in here. Thank you for that. And alternative D, well, I don't know if we have any representatives for the government here, but it's a tough message to the politicians here in Sweden. Thank you. Interesting. And I know a lot of you work in organizations. Sometimes we are stuck with the colleagues that have been working for some years, and they don't have all the right skill set for the future. But how do we handle those situations? How tough are we? The next situation is about just that. Okay.
High five! Robert cheers and slaps his big hand against yours as he scores one more strike at the company's yearly bowling tournament. My God, you are tired of these old school get-togethers. And yes, Robert is a silverback marketing director, a James Gandolfini lookalike with more than 10 million spent on traditional broadcasting media throughout his career. His campaigns have been traditional and successful, but time is changing. And every time you mention social media, Robert gets something nervous in his eyes. He is not a digital native. You feel kind of stuck as the digital transformation that lies ahead demands more than yesterday's experience. And the marketing executive is a key position in the change. As always, it isn't all black and white. You have your daily business, and the revenue streams from digital are yet small in comparison to the revenues from the traditional business. How would you move forward?
Wow. Let's see. So, A, I accept the change. I accept that change will come at Robert's pace. I'll continue to work with him and to get him to follow our move. He won't be leading the change forward, but he has other qualities. B, our company is lagging behind. As a listed company in the quarterly, with quarterly reports, there's no time for innovation, and disruptive change won't be coming from us. C, demand CEO to replace Robert. He's too old and too slow to adapt to digital markets. He's the reason the revenue is under 10%. Or D, there has been some turbulence in the management team. New influential owners, powerful CEO. Putting my jaw on the line here might do me more pain than reward. So I sit tight. Take the neighbor on the other side and discuss this situation for a couple of minutes. What is right, what is wrong, and when I say, you can make the vote. Thank you. Okay, can I have your vote, please? Oh, interesting. There's a mixed crowd here. That's good. The ones voting on A, it's a lot of social chimpanzees here, positive people that help each other, eating each other's bugs, collaborative, avoiding conflict. B, the opportunist, that they say, pick the fights or the fights will pick you. So I guess that's true. C, we have a lot of bold ones in here, tough people. And D, not too many neglecting, not so many ostrich in here. Interesting. What should Robert do for the rest of his career? We don't know. Okay, the next situation is one of my favorites. It's about you and society. It's about digital stress. Are you ready? Great.
It's Tuesday, and you're on the airport shuttle looking out the window. You feel the itch to pull out your precious little smartphone and scroll the latest post. But you made a promise to yourself to avoid it. This time, you will only enjoy your trip. It's heard and hit has gotten a bit crazy. Last week, you forgot your phone at home one day, and you felt isolated and stressed. Some days, it feels like you have to touch it every 5th second. Has something fun happened? And it keeps on sounding and burping on meetings, and you never leave it more than 40 centimeters away. Digital is the future, but what has it done to us as humans? What is your digital stress?
Okay. And the alternative. A, I reached a point where I have to fight the urge to constantly feel connected. Sometimes it feels like I rush through life without a deeper connection to others. B, I'm concerned there's a space for balanced thoughts and discussions. Look at the polarized situation in politics. Or C, we need to be more connected. When we have microchips implants, we won't have the concept of digital stress. Or D, I love digital, but I sometimes wake up with digital nightmares. They are horrible. So, A, do you need more mindfulness? B, are you upset about the politic situation in society? C, do you think that there is no problem? We just have to be more connected. Or D, you're sometimes digitally stressed. Please pick a neighbor and discuss the situation for a couple of minutes. Okay. Okay, please place your vote. Okay. Oh, so we have a lot of A. This is the potential new mindfulness group. In 2 years, you will all be sipping ayahuasca and going to Burning Man. And B, you're troubled with the election. And there's a strong voice here. You blame digital for electing Trump. But there's a strong message too to the tech scene to really find new tools for people to connect over boundaries. And C, okay, Terminator was just something that never will happen. You're all wanting to step up here and kiss the robot, I guess. Okay, and D. You know, D is interesting. As a behavioral scientist, D can be diagnosed. It can. Low digital self-esteem, often due to analog experience in early childhood. I love having this moments with you, talking about this situation, and I feel that you have found that these situations made it more easy to discuss the unspoken thinking patterns. Dilemmas are good for that. And if you want to borrow any of these situations... Yes! If you want to borrow any of these situations and use... Okay, just email me at sebastian@wildfire.se.
Silence. I mean it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sebastian.